Today we are going to be stabilizing some box elder burl. So we got this nice piece of burl, as this one has some bark on it covering up some of that texture, so we'll pull that off, but we're going to stabilize this and get it cut into some blanks for some knife handles or some turning projects. There's a lot of bark stuck, but because it's all been dry, it just pops right off with a screwdriver. You just got to get in between all the little bumps. So we're going to square it up, and then we're going to start cutting our pieces off. And I have a couple of measurements or marks that I have on there to make sure I get to the same spot every time, or at least so they're consistent in their thickness. And then we'll probably start making some thicker ones, some blocks, to do some turning or some full tang knife handles. So we're just going to cut them up. We got everything cut up into nice different size pieces, like this one that we still have the live edge on there, or these blocks that we can use. Still need to sand them up a little bit, but the texture, the figure in all of them, a lot of different things that we can use them for, not just knife handles, which will be the majority, but left some pieces that were a little bit bigger and pieces that we might add some epoxy to make something else. But a lot of different sizes and shapes, but the texture and the look of the wood is awesome. Next step is to stabilize it. So Burl has quite a few cracks and is a little bit on the more fragile side, so we're going to put it in this vacuum pot and fill it up with some cactus juice, which is a very liquid resin that we're going to use to stabilize the wood. So we need to fill it up, and you're going to need a weight. As you can see, it's starting to float. So I'm going to go grab a couple rocks and we'll put that on to hold it down. Everything should be submerged so that the resin can fill in the different holes and cracks of the wood. And we're just going to suck out all the air and the bubbles from it. Essentially, what we're trying to do is fill up the wood with the resin, and so we turn on the vacuum to suck all that air out. As you can see, the bubbles start to rise, and then, we don't want that to overflow, but the bubbles or the air is being sucked out, and then we'll let it sit, and the resin hopefully will fill that, and then we cure the resin, and it makes it nice and hard, so you can see the bubbles coming out. When the resin has all been soaked in, it'll be a lot more dense, and so we pull these out and you cure the resin with whatever type of resin it is. So for cactus juice, we have to pull it out and we will heat it up to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time so that that resin can cure and make that wood hard. So you can see the grain a lot more once the resin's in there. And the pattern that's all over this lovely burl. We've let it drip dry a little bit. As you can see, there's still stuff on there, but now we'll put it in this oven and heat it up and let that cure. But you try to let it drip and get as much off as possible. and so that you're only curing what's inside of it. And as you can see, my oven's not big enough to fit all of it, so we'll have to do a couple batches. But when you pull it out, as you can see, it's quite a bit drier and it's cured. So these here are ready for us to start using. And just like that one, oh, that one has a little bit of a curve. But we'll use them for knife skills and a few other things. I actually have a knife that we're going to put these on right away, so another video of that coming up probably next week. But just look at the pattern of this amazing wood. We'll sand a couple down and get a closer look at them. There's a sanded, cured, hardened piece of burl. And just look at that texture of that wood. So can't wait to use it on a few projects coming up.